feeling sharp. I'm feeling ready. I'm ready to perform.
Hey, so the last time that we talked to you, that we actually interviewed you was right before the Jamel Herring fight, right?
Yeah.
One of the things I want to touch on is at that time you was hunting Jamel Herring and calling out Valdez. Here we are a year later. Talk to me about the space that you find yourself in now that you've got Jamel Herring under your resume, took his belt, you got Valdez, finally got the Valdez fight that you was asking for. Talk to me about the space, like the tables turned. Talk to me about that space that you find yourself in now.
I feel like that was just, like a stepping stone at the end of the day. I feel like any accomplishment you get is always going to be something next to do. So, like, now I'm in a space where it's like, okay, I became unified champ, 2-division world champ, 126, 130. I proved a lot to boxing fans. Now I'm at a space where I want to like connect with the people outside of boxing. I want to get to know the casuals and just get in tune like basically with the culture and all that stuff. So I feel like that's where I'm at in my career. I gotta do stuff differently. I gotta when I go do my homecoming, I gotta go put on a show. I gotta show out for my community, for everybody around, and just try to become a star.
Well, one of the things I noticed as you, because you said right before the Jamel Herring fight, you said a star's going to be born. When I asked you what type of performance can we expect out of Shakur Stevenson that night, you said a star's going to be born. And we've seen that happen. Up to this point, do you feel that you got to answer everybody who calls you out now that you, like you said, you had 2 divisions, you conquered 2 divisions, you beat Valdez, you got the ring, you know what I'm saying, you're very accomplished now at 130. Do you feel like you got to answer everybody that calls you out, like a Joe Cordina or Garcia that just recently called you out?
If it makes sense. At the end of the day, once you get to like that #1 spot, you don't see like the people that's behind you. Like you see them, but it's like they trying to get to where you at, but it's like shit, you at the top of your game, you at the top of the mountain right now. So it's like shit, the only thing that I can do, like what I be thinking about is just going up. So I'm thinking about what's ahead, what's next, what's gonna make me better in my career. If it don't make sense, it don't make sense. I ain't worried about a bunch of motherfuckers saying my name. Everybody gonna say my name just because I'm the man. At the end of the day, you just gotta deal with it. But I used to like, you asked me this when I was around the Jamel Herring, Oscar Valdez time, but I ain't used to Oscar Valdez, but Jamel Herring time, I probably would have been more so like, oh, everybody calling me out, I gotta say something. But now I've been on some straight ignoring you, like shit. Whatever, if you don't make sense, I ain't got nothing to say to you. Like, I used to entertain the Archie Shirt dude. Even like me saying his name right now is a little entertaining.
Yeah.
But being truthful with you, he be tweeting me all the time. I still don't be responding to him. Like, it's whatever. You don't make no sense, bro.
Does the money have to be there for you to want to do that fight at this point in your career?
Money got to be there for every fight now. Yeah. At this point, shit, I'm into making money. I'm into money making business. So. If the money there, the money right, I'll fight whoever.
You well accomplished at this point where you don't gotta, you took on the B side versus Valdez, and I don't feel like you're accomplished now, so I don't feel like you gotta do that. Do you see yourself doing that again in order to get certain fights, or, you know what I'm saying, put yourself in certain positions, or do you feel like your accomplishments up to this point grant you that to be the A side in every fight going forward?
Nah, I don't think every fight gonna be the A side, but I think some fights gonna be 50-50. Just like when you go up to 135, it's other champions that did a lot of stuff in boxing already. So I see some of them fights being 50-50 instead of me taking the B side. I ain't taking no B side with nobody no more. I did my part. I went as an underdog with Valdez, and I dominated like the A side. So at the end of the day, I ain't doing that no more. I see 50-50 with anybody in the future.
How important is it for you to be undisputed at 130? Is that something that you still chasing? Because I've heard you say that in a couple of interviews a couple months ago, that undisputed was something that one of your goals at 130. Going into the Robson fight, how important is that since you're defending your titles now? And, well, I'm going to leave the question right there.
Yeah, I used to think it was, like, super important to be, like, undisputed. But then you got to look at it like, if you like pay attention to boxing, what we call Floyd. Floyd was one of the greatest fighters ever, right?
Yeah.
Was he ever undisputed?
Nope.
Okay then, so I mean, it's cool. I mean, I'm 2-division champ already. Like, there's not a lot of fighters that's 2-division champ at my age, close around my age, so I'm already 2 division champ. Not only 2 division, I unified in a different division. That you feel me? So it's like, it's cool to be undisputed. If I get it, I get it. But I ain't just chasing it over the top. If I can't make 130 no more, I'm not gonna stay at 130 just because I want to be undisputed and try to kill myself and all that kind of stuff. Shit, I'll go up and fight whoever at the end of the day.
Is that one of the reasons that you feel like you got to move up? I'm assuming that you're moving up after this fight or close to after this fight. So is that one of the reasons you feel like you can't make the weight anymore, or you feel more comfortable? Or
it's depending on the weight cut.
Okay.
It's depending on how I feel in these next what we got 3 weeks. In the next 3 weeks, how I feel cutting weight. If the weight hard to make, shit, we going up. I ain't no ifs, ands, or buts.
Well, let me ask you this: when you look at the landscape at 135, you got Haney, who's about to take on Cambosos, right? And you got Loma, who's about to fight Jermaine Ortiz.
Yeah.
Do you necessarily wait around at 130, defend your title one more time, and see what opens up between this time and the time that they take on their opponents? Because I'm assuming you don't want to move up to 135 and not have a direct title shot.
I mean, shit, at the end of the day, I wouldn't mind if I can't make the weight going straight to 135 and fighting whoever. I can get a test fight at 135, see how I feel at the weight.
So you're willing to do that, just move up without necessarily getting a title fight immediately?
Yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, they fighting what, in October? I don't know when lomachenko fight, but they not gonna be too far from me and them fighting. I mean, we never know. Me and them could fight in the beginning of the year next year. So you never know, depending on what I feel. If my weight, you feel me, hard to make.
That's gonna determine whether you want to stay at 130.
But if not, I stay and fight Cordina.
I feel that's what I was going to ask you about Joe Cordina.
Yeah.
Because you mentioned before in other interviews he's been talking a lot. And you really want to see that fight at this point. And I know he's still talking. I see it on Twitter all the time. Is that something that you like? If you make this weight comfortably, that's the fight you want in next.
Yeah, for sure. That's the fight for sure. Cause you gotta realize, like, even with a lot of these dudes, I start off talking good about these dudes, and they always take my compliments that I'm giving them as weakness or something. That's how I see it. Cause now it's like, shit, I'm giving y'all compliments. I'm saying good things about y'all. Then y'all start switching up and saying weird ass shit. So it's like, once you start coming out your mouth saying weird shit, it's like, shit, it's what up. It's whatever with me. That goes for anybody. Like, there's a lot of people I done talk good about. Then they start saying other shit that go against what I done said. So it's like, shit, whatever. I still feel like they good fighters. I still feel like Joe Cordina is a good fighter at the end of the day. Can't say he a bad fighter, but shit, we gotta get it in. I mean, you keep acting like you feel so confident that you could beat me. You keep going on Instagram. It was the Instagram post that blew me. He went on the Instagram post, comment under something and said something like, I thought I was supposed to be next. Like he was mad that I was fighting Robson. So, shit, after this fight, me and him will get in. Let's see what you're talking about.
You feel like that's, on the business side, do you feel like that's an easy fight to make, seeing how he's with Matchroom? Well, I'm not necessarily sure, but his last fight was versus Ogawa, and it was on DAZN. You feel like that's an easy fight to make between DAZN, Matchroom, and ESPN and Top Rank?
I think any fight easy to make if the fighter really want to fight.
But if the money's not necessarily there, you know what I'm saying? I don't want to say it's up. I don't want to say it's up to Bob Arum, but
man, the money 9 times out of 10, the money always there.
Yeah,
money gonna be there. It's depending on if they want to come out their pockets and do it. But at the end of the day, if you're a fighter and you want to fight somebody, you go to your promoter and say you want to fight them. 9 times out of 10, they gonna do whatever to make it happen. I don't care who it is. So I think any fight should be easy to make if the fighter actually want to fight. But if they like tiptoeing around it and not really saying nothing, then the promoter 9 times out of 10 gonna take it as you don't really want that fight. So, but I'm one of them fighters. If I'm for sure I want to fight, I go to Bob Arum, I go to Jay. Like, yo, make this fight happen.
Yeah.
I don't care. However it gotta get done, make this fight happen. So.
What about you and Garcia? He recently fought and called you out. He said that'll be an easier fight. Like he said
I told him put him first up. Yeah, if that's the case, tell him. If he really feel, cause I don't understand these dudes. How do you feel that you fighting me will be an easy fight? Make it make sense. Like me, You
What
really
that
feel,
Colbert fight really gave him some confidence.
that can't get to your head though.
Especially with him taking that fight at a short notice.
At the end of the day, Chris Colbert, I ain't taking nothing away from B.I.
I agree.
He's not me.
I agree.
It's two different levels. Like this dude, I done been to tournaments with this dude from.
Hey,
amateur.
tell Garcia that, man.
I'm talking about Garcia.
I know what you're
I've been
saying.
in tournaments with Garcia from an amateur. He know me. Me and him been at the same weight class since amateurs. He know I used to win. He used to lose. So it's like you know who I am. Like what you mean? This gonna be an easy fight? That don't even make sense. So
with him not being a flagship fighter for PBC, I feel like that'll be an easier fight to make than the Joe Cordina fight. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, but which fight make more sense? I think Cordina gonna make more money. That'll be a more bigger fight.
In Australia?
In
the
UK,
UK,
wherever part he's from.
Yeah.
But maybe, I don't know. Last time I heard he only sold 5,000 or 6,000 where he was at. So if it's that, I'm not going there for that. Like it's impossible. He better come over here and see what we're talking about.
So back to you moving up, I don't want to look past Robson too much, but you're one of the elite fighters, you know what I'm saying? So we could just assume that you're gonna blow past Robson. We could say that, you don't necessarily have to say that, you know what I'm saying? But we gotta have some foresight when it comes to you. When it comes to 135, how do you see that going? Do you feel like Devin Haney is gonna vacate the belts, or do you feel like you're gonna eventually get your chance to fight Devin Haney at 135, or you feel like he'll vacate the titles and it'll be between you and Loma trying to collect the belts, and at some point you and Loma meet? How do you see that going about? I know that was a long-winded question.
Nah, I got your question. Your question. But the thing is, look, when I say this, I'm not saying this in no disrespectful way to Devin. Cause I don't think Devin would duck me. I think Devin is one of those, he'll fight anybody. He already put it out there, he'll fight whoever. So,
but he's also said he's
getting big for the weight.
He's already put that out there too. That he could potentially move up to 140.
Yeah,
so.
and that's what I also about to say. Like over our careers, me and Devin always been one weight class apart. So I know if I'm getting bigger from 130,
he's
9 times out of 10 he getting bigger from 135. So
pause.
Yeah, no homo. Yeah, I ain't know that. Nah, but for sure, he getting bigger for 135. So I think that he probably gonna be moving up. I don't think that he's gonna be at 135 when I get there. I think maybe one more fight with Cambosis and he probably move up. But if it do come down to it and we do end up at the same weight class, it'll be a hell of a
So
fight.
you don't see that fight between him and Loma happening, and him fulfilling his obligations?
Maybe not though. I just, maybe even if it do happen, I think if that does happen, that will be his last fight at 135. I'll be willing to bet that.
And then you move up. Perfect scenario. You fight Lomachenko for all the titles.
Yeah, but if they end up fighting and Devin beat him, how the hell we?
Oh yeah. I moved past that. Damn, like I just assumed that Loma would beat Devin Haney. You got anything? You got anything?
Honestly, going back to moving up to 135, who would you rather face? I know facing the champion and Devin, but who is somebody you would love to just face at 135? You see is the biggest fight for you at that weight class?
I mean, it got to be the champion. At the end of the day, he got all the belts, so me and Devin would be the biggest fight for sure. But if I had a choice, like if it was no belts involved,
that was my question.
Yeah,
like if it was no belts on the line,
Yeah.
I'd probably take Lomachenko just because Lomachenko,
The Matrix.
yeah, he's like a respected fighter in the boxing world, and the boxing world respects him in a different manner. So
You don't feel like you get the same credit for if you were to beat Devin Haney? You don't feel like it'll give you like the same, I guess credit would be the word for it, like you beating Loma would be equivalent to you beating Devin Haney?
I think it's gonna be equal. Like,
Because at this point, Devin Haney's undisputed, right? He's a man at 135.
yeah, but I just think honestly, like Devin, the man, he got the belt, so you can't take nothing away from him. But Lomachenko, he been in for a long time, so it's like if it was no belts on the line, a lot of people respect Lomachenko. A lot of people like, I ain't saying like our community probably don't, but like truth be told, like the white people and all that, they think Lomachenko is like a god boxer. So it's like just to go shut them up, I would like enjoy to
Just
do that.
Yeah.
I do give Loma his respect though. 400 amateur fights now. That's still
Yeah, and only
amazing.
lost one.
Yeah, and went back in the
And
division.
avenged it several times now.
Yeah.
Right?
So that you got to give him respect on that. And then came straight in, and then his second fight was a championship fight with Orlando Salido. So I got to give him respect. So I understand what you're saying when you say North Belts was involved. That would be somebody you go at.
For sure, 100%. But it's just the belts, you know. I want to do. I want to be known as the best. So it's like shit. Gotta go after whoever the best is.
So is the names important or the belts or the accomplishments? You know what I'm saying? Because Loma, and say if you don't fight Loma for a belt, you know what I'm saying? Would that still be? I mean, it's a marquee name, I'm assuming, right? So is that still the same accomplishment for you?
Yeah, for sure.
Just to have Lomachenko under your resume.
He ranked the pound for pound list for years. So it's like, yeah, for sure. Me being him, that'll be.
He's still on the pound for pound.
Right,
they lost and they still act like he's like the great white hope.
So getting off of Loma and getting off of 135, September 23rd.
Yeah.
You going back home.
Yeah.
This will be your second fight in Newark, but the first time going back as unified champion at
champion in any way.
Yeah.
My first time going back as a champion.
This your first time headlining it too, right? Or you headlined?
Nah, I headlined.
He headlined before.
Yeah.
What talk to me about the importance of that and your community seeing that, or just New York in general seeing Newark seeing that and seeing just everything that you accomplished.
I think it's a blessing, and it's a big motivation on everybody in my city. Like, just for them to see me as a kid. Like, if I'm being real, I was outside as a kid. Like from JFK. I know y'all don't know this stuff, but JFK. I went to Quitman. I went to every damn near Newark public school. So like, a lot of people done seen my face. They done known me from being in Newark. And just like now, just to see me headlining on ESPN. At the Prudential is like a big thing. Like, it make me feel special, and I know it feels good that I could motivate even older people in my city. Like, I'm going back to my city, I see older people that's 3 times my age, and they coming up to me and just showing me so much love. Like, man, I love you. Thank you for what you're doing for the city, and like all that stuff make me feel good. And just like I'm saying, I done bought tickets for 100 kids to come to the fight. Like, I want all the kids to come there and watch my fight. I want to be the person to buy them tickets and want them to remember that Shakur got them tickets to his fight and give them an amazing show. I think that's like something that's big for me, and I think that's something that I'm really proud of that I'm doing.
I feel like that's important for the youth or just the community in general to see that certain things are possible, especially us from the black community. You know what I'm saying? I feel like more examples like yourself going back to Newark and doing what you do, I feel like the people are able to touch you when they see that it is certain things are
and
possible.
And kids is like shit. They don't get nobody that come back and that made it somewhere.
Who did that for you? Was there somebody for you?
Nobody.
So that's why it's important for you to go back.
That's why I felt that. Like,
even
nobody.
Buddy McGirt from Newark?
Nah, he ain't from Newark. I think he's from New York.
He's from New York.
He's from New York.
Hurricane. He's not from New York either.
That boy had motherfucker buddy ain't from no fucking.
I thought he was from that area.
Nah, he ain't from New York. I don't know who Hurricane.
But y'all have had champions come through there.
Nah, you know, Michael B and Shaq and them from Newark, but me personally speaking, like, I didn't
somebody
see
that you
them.
could touch.
I never seen them. Like, I've been to Shaq movie theater that he had. Like, went to the movies, but I never seen Shaq when I was there. So it's like shit. It's just a different feeling when I could be the person that come back and just for these kids to watch a show and something that they gonna see and get them motivation. So that's something that I can't wait for.
And that's something that, as kids, that actually pushes them to
go do something.
Yeah,
especially in sports, because you know around this time, you in Texas now, you see most of these kids want to play football, and a lot of these kids not gonna make it in football, but that don't mean that they can't go out and box and become something like you, because we don't have that.
Any sport, it's any sport at the end of the day.
It's important to see the visual.
I was just thinking about
just to take them off the streets is something that I really want to do. Like, the shit that they see in front of them is like, they don't got the right shit in front of them. They got the wrong shit in front of them. So I want to be that person that taking them off the streets. You can make money doing this. You can make money doing a sport.
Doing anything.
It ain't just boxing that you could go get a $1 million, $2 million, $3 check from. $3 million check. You can go to fucking basketball, football, or anything. You want to rap. If you feel like rapping, go do that just because I'd rather take them kids off the street. I don't want them kids to be. I don't want them kids to, because at the end of the day, the street life is two things that you go through is die or you going to jail. That's the end point of that. The end point of what we doing is longevity. Like, so at the end of the day, I want to get them that type shit.
So back to September 23rd with Robson Conceição. This is somebody that you've sparred in the past, and obviously at this point y'all are two different fighters. You know what I'm saying? So without giving away too much of your strategy, what's the mindset going into this one? Because we asked you, of course, about hearing, and you was like, a superstar is gonna be born. Like, you just knew the confidence, and even for the Oscar Valdez fight, you knew what you was gonna do in there. You know what I'm saying?
I'm gonna beat him up. I think he's a solid fighter. I can't take nothing away from him.
He almost messed up the bag between you and Valdez back in December.
Yeah, I don't got no hard feelings for that. I think I got more hard feelings that he won a gold medal in the 2016 Olympics, and I got silver. So, but I just want to beat him up. I think that.
Them type of styles to me don't really like it to the body, or don't really like to be beat up, as you say. You know what I'm saying?
Gotta go in there and beat them dudes up. They boxers. They want to sit back and. They want you to box with them. I think that's my style too, but at the end of the day, I'm versatile. I can do different things. So I'm going in there and I'm going to break him down and I'm going to beat the shit out of him.
You feel like, as of recently, right, like you, I feel like, well, I'm not going to assume, but do you seem to understand the importance of putting on a dominant performance and putting on for the crowd? Is that something that you go, like, that you've intentionally try to change going into these fights? As of recently, since Nakatemian fight, I feel like you got a lot of criticism for that fight.
But I was dominant.
You were. So to us, because we know what we're looking at, of course, so I can't knock you for that performance, right?
But the thing is, like, so let's we speaking like on stuff like that, right? These dudes, they go in there, they have bad nights and they get hurt. Or they get split decisions, or
you're not gonna say no names.
Nah, I ain't gonna say no specific
I'm joking.
names.
I'm joking.
We talking about all the people that they praise, and we being realistic. They praise these other fighters and say that they this and they that, but we done seen them have like
bad nights,
hard times in fights. Like we done seen them in difficult moments. We have yet to see me in a difficult moment. Like my bad night was a shutout. I won every round in a fight that was a bad night. You watch these other fights; they had split decisions, all that.
Well, going back to my question, going back to my question, you box, right, and you put out a shutout, right? But for the Herring fight, for the Valdez fight, you were pressing the action. You know what I'm saying? So is that a conscious decision on your part to do, to win over the fan base and to become a superstar, as you say? Yeah,
for sure. I think that that fight just turned me up at the end of the day. I know that night I didn't feel myself. I think it was some stuff going on with me personally, but I did what I had to do to win.
Yeah.
And then from there, it's just like I wanted to show the world that I'm really that. So
I've seen a lot of maturity in your growth in your career, like these last couple of months. Really, everything's been happening so fast, right? But what on your side? Are you understanding the business a little bit better, where you understand that certain fights take time? You called Oscar Valdez out for a long time, and it happened once it kind of made sense. You know what I'm saying? So It was so surprising when I found out I was fighting him. Like I was in my shorty mother house, and I'm just sitting there chilling. I get a call. They're like, "Yo, do you want to fight Valdez?" And it was so weird. Like I'm sitting there, I'm looking at the phone. I'm like, "Huh?" Like, I couldn't believe it because it's like, after the fight, they kept saying he was fighting Navarrete. So I'm like, hell yeah, I want to fight Valdez. Set it up. Like, they called me and it just, you know, like I said, I think from like the business side, I think that I'm more patient now. Like, I know the big fights is gonna come. Like you, one of the fighters that I feel like Top Rank is moving you accordingly. Like they up to this point, they've moved you beautifully. I think you didn't get the fights that you wanted. You didn't get Valdez at 26. You didn't get it at 130 when you wanted it.
It was meant to be though.
But now it makes sense how everything just kind of happened.
Yeah, I think he had a better chance. He fought me at 126. I think
you said that before.
That was like a different Shakur. I think I wasn't as developed. I told him that when we were sitting there. I told him like straight to his face, like, yo, you had a better chance fighting me at 126. Like the Shakur you fight now is a whole different fighter, and I think he know that and he seen it. And shit, I think I don't know. I'm a bad motherfucker.
Yeah, I agree.
So how close do you think you are on the verge of crossing over, being that crossover fighter for everybody? Because you said you're doing it for the culture, you're doing it to pull those casual fans in. You're trying to reach that superstar status. How close do you think you are from being that crossover type of fighter?
I think that everything takes time at the end of the day. You can't get everything you want at the end of the day. Plus, a lot of things you gotta leave in God's hands too. So I can't sit back and just be like and do whatever. I'm gonna do my part. I can do what I can control. So I don't know how close I am. I can't tell you. But at the end of the day, I'm gonna do whatever I can control to get there. But I'm not finna do anything outside of that. Just
outside of who Shakur is.
Yeah, I'm gonna stay myself and be me. And at the end of the day, I'm making good money. I'm fine. You feel me? I'm good. My family good. So we eating at the end of the day. Ain't nothing wrong. But at the end of the day, shit, I'm gonna get there though.
I see it. You know what? I'm gonna switch gears. I know we've been talking about you for the longest, but you got your little brother in here too, and we just watched him in his amateur fight, and he got another one coming up October the 1st. Tell us about your little brother.
Shit, I got my little brother and my little cousin in here. I think, shit, they getting better every day. Like, it's so scary, like, to just watch them and just see how much better they get. Like, even me getting in the ring with them, I forced them to get in the ring with me. Like, when you say you watched them fight, I forced my little cousin to come in here and spar me right after.
Yeah, we was here that night. Yeah, we was here that night.
Just because the fact that I want to keep boxing on his mind, I want to keep getting him better. I know you just fought right after a fight, you come back and spar with me, that's going to turn you up off rip. You're going to be thinking in the back of your brain, like, shit, I just got in there with a world champion. And I think with them, they're going to get a lot better and better.
Hey, so let me bring this question back. Who does that for you? Like, who motivates you at this point? I know you say you didn't have that growing up, but up to this point, how do you still have that discipline? How do you still have that motivation? Or not still, but how do you have that motivation?
What
like,
keeps you motivated?
Yeah. Shit, my daughter. I feel like...
But you was doing that before that.
Yeah, but it got turned up to a whole different level now. Like,
that
I'm taking
you want to
this shit
provide
so
something for her
serious now.
that you never had.
Yeah, for sure. I think
You got baby.
before I used to I ain't gonna say be in the gym whenever Kent was around, cause I used to be in the gym at times, like I pick spots. But like now it's like shit, I'm always in this motherfucking gym. Like I'm always here just because of the fact that I had my daughter and I know I wanna provide for her. I know I gotta work harder than everybody else to provide for her. So I think she's really like the main motivation now. Like I get up, even today I ain't even wanna come to the gym today. They told me that I should take the day off because I did 12 rounds with like 3 different people yesterday, and we worked hard yesterday. We ran last night.
Yeah.
Did our miles. Like we worked hard, so we was gonna take today off. But
and
shit,
then you right back in.
I got up like, man, fuck that shit. I don't want to hear that. My grandfather came, man, take off, man, take off. I'm like, man, I don't want to hear that pop up.
Yeah.
I'm getting up. We working. Yeah. It is what it is at this point. So, shit, just my daughter, like thinking about her, keep me motivated, keep me going.
Man, that's all that we got for you, man. We want to appreciate you giving us this interview.
Appreciate y'all too, most definitely.
Man,
I fuck with y'all.
Yes, sir.
Appreciate it.